Wow, down payments are really large, and I'm broke now.
We're about to see an abundance of homes hit the market in 2024 for two key reasons.
House prices are not going to come down. I believe that when the real estate interest rates come down, when the mortgage rates come down, all hell's going to...
Millennials can't afford homes because you like coffee and avocado toast. Like, are you joking?
Is it possible for them to purchase a home? Yes. Is it possible for them to purchase the home that they want? Probably not. Period.
Here's the bottom line. Housing prices are at an all-time high, coupled with surging interest rates and a rock-bottom supply, making it almost impossible for the average person to buy a house. We're going to dig into those stats in a little bit, but please comment down below. I want to know, are you one of these people stuck on the sidelines waiting for affordability to come back? Did you buy in 2020 or 2021 and have an insanely good interest rate, so you're just kind of chilling? Or did you buy 40 years ago for $200 and a piece of bubble gum? Let me know down below and I'll read them and reply. But I'm just curious, what's everyone's situation like? So I'm gonna start with this girl. She says, my husband and I are just patiently waiting and saving until the next housing crash. Well, looks like she got a lot of likes, but I really wanna focus on the date. She said that in 2021. So just a heads up, she should have bought it. Okay, 2021 was a great time to buy, because not only have housing prices gone up, the interest rates have also gone up, making it insanely hard to buy a house. So if she was ready, she should have done it. But you know, hindsight is 2020.
Who's Captain Hindsight?
Captain Hindsight, the hero of the modern age.
So I mentioned people buying their houses 40 years ago, and Tim Dillon has a funny video on this. I just wanted to show it.
Like, the boomers are flying in large numbers now. And the boomers are flying to go visit and torture and torment their children. This is why boomers are traveling all over the country, is to go to where their children have been forced to live and laugh at them. This is what boomers like to do. They go, that you pay this for that?
So I have a video planned on this coming soon. It's going to be boomers versus millennials, who's right, and Gen Z. I could throw in Gen Z in there, but I'm working on some data analysis that is pretty interesting, because the boomers might have a point. But if you want to see that, subscribe, because that's coming out pretty soon. So if you want to know when that drops, just subscribe. But I want to move on to this guy. If you haven't seen him, you've been living under a rock, because he's blowing up, because he does a good job of breaking down housing prices and affordability and comparing it to the past. So I picked this one out. Let's watch.
Cost of housing is astronomical, but what happened in the past 4 years is the problem. Check out the difference between 1995 to 2019 to 2023. So the complaining from us millennials started probably 2020, but this is why. Here's where the jump happens. This is what, okay.
All right, so I skipped a little bit ahead. So he's talking about the down payments. You can see them right there, how different they are, and the housing prices and the interest rates. So from 1995 to 2019, the payment and interest is like not that much different. I mean, under $1,000. And then now here he's going to talk about what it's like to buy it now.
2023, the average home jumped to $419,000. The down payment would be $84,000. The interest rate was similar to 95, which is 7.24%, but that would leave you with a monthly payment of $2,283. Now let's go with the average incomes. In 1995, it was $29,000. In 2019, it was $56,000. In 2023, it is still $56,000. So in 1995, 31% of your income could be used for housing. You could get it into a house. In 2019, it was only 21% of your income. In 2023, it is 49% of your income, plus the cost of living, plus the cost of groceries. So the past 4 years is the problem. This is why millennials and first-time homebuyers are complaining now, because the disparity between 95 and 2019 over 25 years was not that big of a deal. It was moving like it was supposed to.
Housing prices have dramatically increased from 4 or 5 years ago. That's where the jump happens. And interest rates around the same time have also jumped in the same period. So when you combine those things, they turn into this. You get the mortgage payment on the median asking price of $2,894, which is up 78% from 3 or 4 years ago. 78%. So yeah, millennials are complaining a little bit because if you didn't jump in at the time or you weren't ready, you got hosed. Now, what you don't want to do is get into a house that you can't afford, like this girl.
Actually, I have $0 to my name because I just took out every penny that I've ever saved. And this is on top of the deposit I've already made to buy a house. And wow, down payments are really large and I'm broke now.
Yeah, it's not that funny. You need to be prepared when buying a house. Do not drain your savings for the down payment. You always want to have like a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, some change in the bucket. So if something happens, you're ready. Don't drain everything just to get into a house. That means you cannot afford a house. So some money guru who will remain unnamed says you should do a 15-year loan and your housing payment, mortgage, and everything should be no more than 25% of your take home. Now that's insane. At that rate, at the average house, especially in California, if you look at California, you can take a look at this map. Find out where your house is and you can do this calculation on a mortgage calculator. Find out where you are. I know where I am at. Yeah, you see that red? Not fun. So another rule of thumb that might be a good idea is the 28% rule, which is no more than 28% of your take-home income on a 30-year loan. So you can go to that mortgage calculator and try it out yourself. If you want me to do it on other videos, I can do it. We can do like custom ones, but yeah, try it out yourself. So I don't really go on Reddit very often, but you know, I was kind of browsing around for this video, just kind of seeing what was going on. And I found this guy's comment. Why is this market so insane? Why are houses double the price from 3 years ago? Will prices drop or go up? So he kind of goes on a little story here, which is pretty sad. Divorce, yeah. But he's right. That is a good question. Are prices going to go up or are they going to go down? So I'm going to go over the two opinions that I found who are completely on opposite sides. So what do you think? Do you think they're going to go up? Do you think they're going to go down? Let's see what this guy thinks.
We're about to see an abundance of homes hit the market in 2024 for two key reasons. The first reason is there are a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines, not moving or not listing their homes because either they want to downgrade or upgrade their homes. The rates are just too high. So as soon as the rates get somewhat affordable, I'm not saying they're going to go down to 2-3% because that's never going to happen again. But as soon as they become somewhat reasonable, these people are going to get back into the market. They're going to list their homes to upgrade or downgrade their homes. The second most significant reason that there's going to be an abundance of homes, there's going to be regulation passed to limit these big corporations from competing with the ordinary mom and pop in purchasing affordable housing.
He talks about two main things. One is people sitting on the sidelines who already have a house and have an insanely good interest rate that want to either upgrade or downgrade, or maybe even can't even afford these prices. They got in their house for and they don't want it. They want out, but they can't sell or buy a new house. So it brings up a good marker. So this is another thing that we got to look at, which is housing supply. So in the past 7 years-ish, we're pretty low on the housing supply, and it hit very, very, very low in January of 2022, but we're on the upticks. He's saying that all these people on the sideline are gonna list their houses once interest rates go down because they want to upgrade or downgrade, and that's going to flood up the inventory, meaning that prices will eventually go down. He also talks about regulations, which I'm not sure if that's going to happen. That's a whole other video that we can do on whether or not these huge corporations are able to swoop up these houses and compete with the average buyer. Let's look at the completely opposite take and see what Barbara from Shark Tank has to say.
House prices are not going to come down. I believe that when the real estate interest rates come down, when the mortgage rates come down, all hell's going to, oh, you're not supposed to say that.
It's morning television, not you're on Shark Tank.
Every buyer on the sideline is going to jump into the market as long as the interest rates come down to 5 or 4%. and houses are going to go up in price all over again. I wouldn't be surprised if they go up by as much as 10 or 15% when that happens.
Oh, wow. So what advice do you have for people who want to buy a home now, first-time home
You have
buyers?
to adjust your horizon. You have to adjust what you're looking for. It's not an easy thing, especially when you know your neighbor has bought their house at a cheap interest rate at a lower price than you're getting. But you have to make that adjustment. You also have to shop for a mortgage rate. People don't know, if you go to your main bank, they will usually give you, as a banker at their institution, 1/4% off. Doesn't sound like a lot, but at least it helps.
Those starter homes, not what they used to be at.
So, I mean, what do you think? We have two completely opposite opinions, and I'm kind of, hate to say it, I'm kind of siding with Barbara a little bit. I think there's a lot more people who are sitting on the sidelines wanting to get into the housing market, waiting for interest rates to come down, than there are people who want to change. I don't know the number. We can maybe look it up and do another video on that. But I'm thinking there's a lot more people who are just sitting around waiting for the market to get better. And once rates go down, they're jumping in and prices will go up. I hate to say it. So this lady's going to talk about if a single person can buy a house. I've kind of been thinking about it as a dual income situation, but she's going to talk about the individual buying one and how even if you can, it's probably not one that you want to live in or something that you want.
Possible for the average American today to purchase a home?
Absolutely not. Is it possible for them to purchase a home? Yes. Is it possible for them to purchase the home that they want? Probably not. Period. It's just that simple. No matter what you think, you're making $54,000 a year, you're single. Keep in mind, you haven't paid your taxes. You haven't paid your electricity, your gas bill, your car payment. You haven't put gas in your car. What is the expectation that the average Bobby and Susie, the average Joe, the everyday buyer can buy on $54,000 a year? There's a house for sale in Smyrna. It's $184,000. You couldn't walk in and live in it. So if you're Handy Harold, yeah, maybe you could make that work. And that's not a bad idea. To me, I don't think that the average person, single, can buy a house. And
so she brings up a good point. It's important to not have sky-high expectations. We're not going to all be balling out in mansions. So maybe you can afford something in your area and need to put in some work and love into it. And that could be a good idea. But just don't expect yourself to be getting your dream house every time. You need to work and save to get that. And it's going to be really, really hard. So this is the last video. This one's kind of for fun. She's talking about how millennials can't afford a house because they're buying coffee and eating avocado toast. Let's watch it and I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
Millennials can't afford homes because you like coffee and avocado toast. Like, are you joking? I did the math, okay?
It's not the avocado toast.
Like, if we went and got a coffee and bought a coffee every single day, roughly it works out to be about $1,800, $1,900 each year. Do you know where I can get a home for a down payment of $1,800 to $1,900? Because let me know if you do. This rhetoric that our little treats are what's holding us back financially is just false, and it's kind of what's keeping us playing small.
All right, so I half agree with her. She's right. Yeah, if you buy coffee every day and it's about $2,000 a year, I mean, that's not going to help you in a lot of these markets. You aren't going to have a down payment with $2,000 a year or $4,000. But where I disagree with her is that the avocado toast and coffee can serve as a metaphor. If you are recklessly spending on cars and going out to expensive restaurants, vacations, you have a balance on your credit card, that can add up and stop you from buying a house. So you need to cut that stuff out if you are really serious about this. Now, I'm not opposed to getting avocado toast or coffee, but it speaks to a bigger point of you need to be a little more intentional about your money and not just let life go by and buy whatever you want. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. This is a really, really big topic. There's going to be plenty of videos coming up surrounding all this stuff. You could really dig into a lot about the housing market. So subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.